start our today's lecture. For today's lecture, hello.
Yes, sir.
आवाज येतो ना?
हो, sir.
Okay. Now here our today's lecture is based on gears. Now the design of gear is limited to spur gear for us. आपल्याला जे सिलेबस मध्ये एक बेसिक इक्वेशन शिकायचं आहे ते फक्त it is based on spur gear, not more than that. But we must know different types of gears, its advantages, disadvantages, as it is directly or indirectly related with somewhere in our MCQs. If you just see on the screen, types of gears are shown. The first gear is spur gear, next is helical gear, bevel gear, and spiral gear. So in addition to that, few more types of gears are there, but the basic main types are this. So what is spur gear? You can see the two gears are mounted and the shafts are parallel on which these gears are mounted. That means here the teeth are straight. You can see the lines, parallel lines are shown. That means gear teeth are straight and the shaft as well as teeth are in parallel position. So this is the type of gear which is generally used for variety of application. Out of that, medium and light application are there. Just like you can see these types of gear in your printer, in your sugar cane crushing machine, or in case of your different kinds of simple application like lathe machine speed reduction or any other machine speed reduction, in which you'll find this spur gear. But the spur gear has some disadvantages. Yes, spur gear चे disadvantages are. The major disadvantages are the spur gear are having some gap. So because of that, it creates a backlash. What is meant by backlash can be a question in MCQs. So the backlash is a distance which is created in between two gear teeth. Because of that there is a pitting action. इसका मतलब क्या है कि जब here जब दो गियर मेट होते हैं, पावर ट्रांसमिशन करने की कोशिश करते हैं, so there should not be gap between two teeth. If there is a gap, what will happen? If there is a gap, then there is a one teeth will be suddenly collapse on the mating teeth. If there is a gap, air gap between two teeth, उससे क्या हो जाएगा? There is a pitting action, there is impact action, so it creates sound, noisy हो जाएगा, थोड़ा सा गियर में आवाज आना शुरू हो जाएगा. Second thing, it has a smooth action is not possible. तो वो गियर क्या करेगा? इम्पैक्ट एक्शन करके कुछ ना कुछ वाइब्रेशन क्रिएट करेगा. So that's why this spur gear has having some limited application. Spur gear क्या? उसमें डायरेक्ट हम जहां पे हमें परफेक्ट पावर ट्रांसमिशन होना है वहां पे स्पर गियर जनरली हम यूज नहीं करते. So what is the main solution to avoid such type of gap or such type of perfect alignment या फिर perfect power transmission, ये कैसे possible है? If I try to incline that teeth, थोड़ा incline करके देखेंगे तो उसको हम जो कुछ भी 1-to-1 पावर ट्रांसमिशन है टीथ में वो भी अवॉइड कर सकेंगे, गैप भी अवॉइड हो जाएगा, द स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ गियर इज गोइंग टू इंक्रीज, पावर ट्रांसमिशन इज गोइंग टू इंक्रीज. तो उसका सिंपल सॉल्यूशन क्या है? हेलिकल गियर. इन आवर स्पर गियर one teeth is going to transmit power by meeting teeth by direct tangential action. उसमें tangential action से एक टीथ दूसरे टीथ को ढकल देगा. In helical gear more than one teeth always in meeting position, क्योंकि और incline है. incline है इसका मतलब क्या है? 2-3 टीथ एक ही, जब दो गियर मीटिंग पोजीशन में है तो एक के बजाय बहुत सारे टीथ के ऊपर लोड डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हो जाएगा, क्योंकि इंक्लाइन टीथ है. इंक्लाइन टीथ होने की वजह से 2-3 टीथ के ऊपर ज्यादा से ज्यादा लोड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन हो जाएगा. सो दैट मीन्स देयर इज अ स्मूथ एक्शन, लोड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन इज देयर इज नो एनी गैप, there is no much sound. इसलिए helical gear is more useful for the smooth operation than the spur gear. लेकिन helical gear में प्रॉब्लम क्या आएगा? परफेक्ट टेंजेंशियल जो हमारा स्पर गियर में ट्रांसमिशन था, दैट इज नॉट पॉसिबल, क्योंकि यहाँ पे इंक्लाइन टीथ के ऊपर फोर्स जाएगा. इंक्लाइन टीथ के ऊपर फोर्स जाएगा तो उसमें एक टेंजेंशियल और एक एक्सियल ऐसे रिजोल्यूशन होंगे. एक्सियल मींस बिकॉज ऑफ इंक्लाइन टीथ there is a creation of one more unwanted force which is in axial direction, which is along the axis of the teeth. तो उसको क्या, उससे क्या हो जाएगा? there is a possibility that the gear will shift automatically, क्योंकि एक्सियल डायरेक्शन में एक फोर्स क्रिएट हो रहा है because of helix angle. Because of the helix angle there is a creation of axial thrust. Axial thrust create हो रहा है. What is the again solution for that? solution क्या है कि जनरली हेलिकल गियर बैक टू बैक 2 हेलिकल गियर कनेक्ट करके यूज करते हैं, which is called as herringbone gear. बट स्पर गियर और हेलिकल गियर उसमें क्या हो जाएगा? उसमें हमारा जो एक्सिस है, एक्सिस ऑफ द गियर्स आर पैरेलल जनरली इन दीज केसेस. बट इफ आई वांट द पावर टू बी transmitted when there is a angle between two mating shaft. Power transmitted having some angle, because if the shaft are parallel then spur gear or helical gear is possible. But उसमें angle है, then what we can do? The answer is bevel gear. You can see the third gear. Bevel gear is going to transmit power when the gears which are mating are having some angle. So it may be 180 or it may be less than or more than 45 or 90 also, depend upon the condition to condition. Generally we see bevel gear in 90-degree position. When there is a maximum condition is whenever we want there should be transmission of power for 90-degree, then bevel gears are used. But again the bevel gears are having straight teeth just like spur gear. ये straight teeth होने की वजह से the smooth power transmission without any noise and without any much strength is not possible. इसीलिए स्पाइरल टीथ यूज करके भी बेवल गियर यूज कर सकते हैं।
हेलो सर।
यस, बोलिए।
सर अनिल कदम सर, हम गूगल मीट पे क्लास ले रहे हैं सर। अभी टाइम 11:30 बजे।
ओके ओके, ठीक है। Just wait for 1 minute. I will again come back. Okay, again here we are. Spiral gear is the gear in which you'll find the teeth are curved in shape, and because of that we can combine two shafts which are non-parallel, non-intersecting. Okay, you can transmit power. You can transmit power in any direction. You can transmit power in any direction. So if you transmit power in any direction, means the teeth of spiral gears are manufactured in that fashion. Now, variety of application you can see. Bevel gears, spiral gears are used in power transmission of our automobile system. In case of your pump and the motor system, in impeller system, you'll find the gears. In case of power transmission also, in generators, you'll find gears. In chemical procedures, in variety of power transmission, you'll find bevel gear and spiral gears. So if you just see why we must go for gear, what are the other types of transmitting device? किसको कंपेयर कर सकता है? There are variety of transmission device. Just like you can use belt, you can use chain, you can use any other transmitting device like rope, but gears are having some special advantage. So what are those advantages? It transmits exact velocity ratio. So what is velocity ratio? So velocity ratio, it is the ratio of velocities of two gears which are in mating. Velocity ratio for the belt as well as for the gear can be calculated. So what is the reduction in speed or what is the increase in the speed that can be calculated by using this velocity ratio. समझो एक हमें 100 आरपीएम से 10 आरपीएम तक रिड्यूस करना है स्पीड, दैट मीन्स वेलोसिटी रेशियो क्या होगा? 10 होगा. ओके, so when we want exact velocity ratio, why it is not possible to have velocity ratio in exact velocity ratio in the in our belt में exact velocity ratio क्यों नहीं है? क्योंकि वहां पे there may be chances that the belt may get sleep and creep are the main drawback or disadvantages that are available, that are main restrictions in the belt में कुछ स्लीप हो सकता है, क्रीप हो सकता है, लेकिन गियर में हमें एग्जैक्ट वेलोसिटी रेशियो मिल सकता है. When we need to transmit large power, if we use two shafts which are very close and we need to transmit large power, then the best possible solution is gear. When the center to center distance is smaller, then also gears are suitable than the belt. If it is having we need high efficiency, then high efficiency means there is no any loss of power, there is no any loss of speed, then high efficiencies can be achieved. Reliability, reliability in the sense of, for example, today's velocity ratio is 10. After 1 year also, velocity ratio is 10, but it is not possible for the belt or any other transmitting device because of there is elongation and other properties may affect because of the belt. It has a compact layout. You can see, if you just see our two-wheeler or any compact device, you'll find that the gears are compactly arranged in minimum size or in minimum space. Okay, but there are some disadvantages also there. The gears are, manufacturing of the gear is somewhat costlier than other device. When the distance between two shafts are very, very long, then we must use something other than gear. As we know, the gears are having some gap or backlash or any other type of error, then it becomes, it is going to vibrate. There is a direct sliding action, and because of sliding action, it need lubrication and cooling. Without lubrication and cooling, the gear will not work. So this is all about advantage, types, disadvantage, and about the gears. In our MCQs, there are some questions which are based on some terminologies. In front of you, you can see now, in front of you, there is a figure. There is one figure, and that figure shows that there are a variety of important terminologies. There are variety of terminologies important in our gear, and main terminologies that we must understand. ये जो गियर है उसमें एमसीक्यूज में क्या क्या पूछा जाएगा, तो ये सब टर्मिनोलॉजी जो दिख रहा है हमें, ये सब हमें पता होना चाहिए. So let us understand one by one these terminologies. First terminology is piece circle. Piece circle का मतलब क्या है कि it is expected that the two gears which are in mate are having rolling action. Rolling action means it is just like a two rollers are rolling one on another. दो रोलर एक के ऊपर एक रोल कर रहे हैं, ऐसा इमेजिन कर सकते हैं हम. और जो रोलर है, रोलर का जो सर्कल है, that circle is termed as piece circle. Okay, but it is a imaginary circle. Why it is imaginary? Because it is not possible. हमें पता है उसके ऊपर टीथ है, टीथ, एक टीथ दूसरे टीथ को, ड्राइवर टीथ ड्रिवन टीथ को ढकेल रहा है, लेकिन फिर भी there is one imaginary circle, and that circle we can call it as a piece circle. The diameter of that piece circle is called PCD. It is the diameter by which the size of gear is specified. समझो हम मार्केट में जाते हैं और किसी गियर खरीद के लाते हैं, तो diameter of the gear specified as a size of the gear is piece circle diameter. Piece circle diameter से हमें ये गियर मार्केट में मिलता है, या फिर we specify that. Okay, so it is a piece circle diameter or pitch diameter of the gear. ये piece circle diameter या फिर pitch सर्कल जो है, तो piece circle जब हम दो गियर्स मेट करते हैं, एक के ऊपर एक रखते हैं, then exactly these two pitch circles are mating at a point. दो पॉइंट जो है, दो piece circle जो है, एक के ऊपर जब गियर रखते हैं, then they are meeting at a point and that point is called pitch point. pitch point क्या है? pitch point एक ऐसा point है, common point, जो दो गियर मीटिंग के वक्त एक दूसरे को टच करते हैं. Okay, so that is pitch point. Pitch point is maybe asked in your MCQ, what is pitch point? So pitch point is the common point of contact between two pitch circles of a mating gears. दो गियर जब एक दूसरे को पावर ट्रांसमिशन करते हैं तो दो गियर्स एक ही पॉइंट कॉमन कांटेक्ट में रखते हैं. दैट पॉइंट इज कॉल्ड पिच पॉइंट. Now, the mating teeth transmit power from a particular point of engagement up to the particular point of disengagement. जब पावर ट्रांसमिशन होता है तो ड्रिवन गियर का टीथ ड्राइवर टीथ के कांटेक्ट में आएगा, उसको ढकेलते ढकेलते जाएगा और दैट पॉइंट इज कॉल्ड पॉइंट ऑफ एंगेजमेंट. जहां पे एंगेज होगा फर्स्ट टाइम उसको पॉइंट ऑफ एंगेजमेंट कहते हैं. ढकेलते ढकेलते पावर ट्रांसमिशन करेगा और लास्ट में उसे छोड़ देगा. सो दैट इज पॉइंट ऑफ डिसएंगेजमेंट. ये पिच पॉइंट सेंटर पॉइंट है. पिच पॉइंट के लेफ्ट साइड में पॉइंट ऑफ एंगेजमेंट है, पिच पॉइंट के राइट साइड में पॉइंट ऑफ डिसएंगेजमेंट है. सो in between that if I draw one line, then that line create one angle. जो engagement से लेके disengagement तक लाइन है, वो लाइन क्या करेगी? पिच पॉइंट को एक लाइन क्रिएट करेगी which is somewhat inclined line than the tangent drawn at pitch point. जब हम एक टेंजेंट ड्रॉ करते हैं, एक हॉरिजॉन्टल लाइन ड्रॉ करते हैं पिच पॉइंट को, तो पिच पॉइंट वो हॉरिजॉन्टल लाइन और जो आती है वो टेंजेंट आएगी पिच पॉइंट को. लेकिन जो प्रेशर एंगल आएगा, प्रेशर एंगल इज द एंगल which is the angle between normal to the gear teeth at the point of contact and the common tangent at the pitch point. Now here the pressure angle is the angle at which the actual power is transmitted. प्रेशर एंगल जो है, प्रेशर एंगल के ऊपर एक्चुअल पावर ट्रांसमिट होते हैं. एग्जैक्ट पिच पॉइंट के ऊपर तो पावर ट्रांसमिशन नहीं होगी. इट स्टार्ट एट सर्टेन पॉइंट एंड इट एंड एट सर्टेन पॉइंट. एंगेजमेंट और डिसएंगेजमेंट नीचे से लेके थोड़ा ऊपर तक जाएगा. एग्जैक्ट पिच पॉइंट के ऊपर ही पावर ट्रांसमिशन नहीं हो सकता है. सो द प्रेशर एंगल इज द एंगल बिटवीन द कॉमन नॉर्मल टू द गियर टीथ एट द पॉइंट ऑफ कॉन्टैक्ट एंड कॉमन टेंजेंट एट द पिच पॉइंट. हमें यहाँ पे क्या याद रखना है? सो हियर वी मस्ट रिमेंबर द प्रेशर एंगल. द प्रेशर एंगल क्या है? द प्रेशर एंगल इज द एंगल एट विच द पावर इज ट्रांसमिटेड. उसके वैल्यू जो है, दैट वैल्यूज आर वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ये एमसीक्यू में पूछा ही जाएगा. सो व्हाट इज द वैल्यू ऑफ स्टैंडर्ड वैल्यू ऑफ प्रेशर एंगल? 14.5 and 20 degrees. 14.5 and 20 degrees is the standard value of pressure angle generally used in this gear design. Okay. Now there is a reason behind that. Pressure angle 14.5 या 20 ही क्यों होता है? So there is a reason. क्योंकि उससे ज्यादा या कम लेंगे तो there is a chances of undercutting and other errors, interference. क्योंकि उसके कम या ज्यादा लेने से क्या होता है? एक गियर दूसरे गियर को काट डालेगा. उसमें जो डिस्टेंस है, दैट डिस्टेंस जनरली व्हिच इज कॉल्ड एज अ टूथ स्पेस. टूथ स्पेस में अच्छी तरह से दो गियर्स मेट होने चाहिए. सो इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल. तो इसीलिए उसको दो ही एंगल फिक्स किया है, 14.5 and 20 डिग्री. ओके. नाउ व्हाट इज addendum and what is dedendum? Already in your somewhere maybe in your previous theory of machine or any other subject, you may come across this. मशीन डिजाइन में होगा या फिर किसी और दूसरे सब्जेक्ट में हो सकता है. You may come across a particular term, addendum and dedendum. What is addendum and what is dedendum? पीस सर्कल के ऊपर जहां पे टॉप लैंड है, जहां तक टीथ है, उसको उसके रेडियल डिस्टेंस को हम एडेंडम कहते हैं. और पीच सर्कल के नीचे up to the bottom of the teeth you will find one distance which is called as a dedendum distance. This addendum and dedendum, these distances are common in the gear. Next is addendum dedendum. शायद पूछा नहीं जाएगा क्योंकि it is not that much related to our gear design. Addendum dedendum machine drawing में हो गया, लेकिन there is one question and possibility of question is very high. Circular pitch. Circular pitch ये question पूछा ही जाएगा. What is circular pitch? It is very simple. Circular pitch is just like our screw pitch or any other pitch. Circular pitch is the distance measured on the circumference of the piece circle. Piece circle के circumference के ऊपर हम distance measure करते हैं. So piece circle is the distance on the circumference of the piece circle from one point of the teeth to the corresponding point of the next tooth. एक पॉइंट से लेके दूसरे पॉइंट तक सर्कुलर पीस सर्कल के ऊपर डिस्टेंस एडजेसेंट टीथ का लेने से हमें सर्कुलर पिच मिलता है. सर्कुलर पिच इज पाई डी बाई टी. व्हाट इज पाई डी means it is a complete perimeter of the piece circle because d is the diameter of piece circle and PCD. T is the number of teeth. That means if I say there are some 100 mm as a parameter and there are 20 teeth, then circular pitch becomes 500 divided by 20, just like that. There is a diametral pitch. Diametral pitch, it is a ratio of number of teeth to the piece circle diameter. Diametral pitch also may be asked in your MCQs. It is a ratio of number of teeth to the PCD. There is a one more important terminology, module, which is the most important, and इसके ऊपर ही हमारा गियर का डिजाइन बेस रहता है. मॉड्यूल, all the dimensions, it may be your width, it may be your piece circle diameter, or it may be anything. It can relate with the module. It is the ratio of piece circle diameter to the number of teeth, denoted by small m. Small m is d by t. So d by t is the ratio which is called module. So after the important terminologies, let us go for one of the important equations which is used for spur gear tooth. So it is given in your syllabus. We must know the equation of the spur gear, and which is called as a beam strength equation or Levy's equation. Levy's equation is the equation which gives us strength of that spur gear tooth. Okay, as we have already discussed, there is one figure of a single spur gear tooth. That spur gear tooth is subjected to variety of forces. So Wn is the force which is actually acting on the tooth. because Wn is the line of action of force and it is again related with that pressure angle. Wn जो है, Wn is the direction of force which is having pressure angle with horizontal. आप जो देख रहे हैं वहां पे that Wn is inclined force. एक टीथ के ऊपर से दूसरा टीथ को पावर ट्रांसमिशन होता है. That power is transmitted by using that load Wn. Wn actual power transmit करता है, which is somewhat inclined. But when we think about the torque transmitted by gear and torque transmitted by the gear and the power transmitted by the gear, then the important thing is Wt, which is the tangential force. You can see the tangential force. The tangential force is tangent to the PCD. Tangential force is the tangent to the PCD. You can see in the figure there is a Wt and the Wn is resolved with two types of forces. One is Wt, tangential, and one more is Wr. Wr is the radial force. It is impossible that pressure angle is zero. ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता, क्योंकि if the pressure angle is zero, that means two teeth are much more horizontal, तो वो तो rack बन जाएगा. That's why if the PCD, P circle diameter, is having some radius, then obviously there is a start of engagement of teeth and end of engagement. So engagement and disengagement is there. That means Wn is somewhat inclined. That means there is a pressure angle. And if the pressure angle is there, then there is a tangential and radial force. If the tangential and radial force is there, that means tangential force is going to create some torque, and tangential force is important because if there is a tangential force and if there is a radius r, then it creates a Wt into r as a torque. Now concentrate on this force, tangential force, which causes damage to that particular teeth, because Wt is the major force which is on that tooth. If you just see the figure, you'll find that the tangential force is acting on the teeth at some distance h from the base. H distance के ऊपर tangential force act हो रहा है. What kind of stresses that can be created, that will create by that particular tangential force is bending stress, because tangential force वो tooth को क्या करेगा, bend कर सकेगा. If there is a chances of bending, we must consider the failure of teeth under bending. If I consider failure of tooth under bending, then bending stress sigma b is equal to m by z is the equation. What is m here? M is moment. Moment means force multiplied by distance. So there is a tangential force Wt and the force is h. So that means m is equal to W into Wt into h, where h is the height of teeth, b is the width of the tooth, t is the thickness of tooth, which are the three quantities known to us, or we must find that in the design. So here the bending stress is important. If I take the bending stress, then that gives us Levy's equation. So sigma b is equal to m by z. Moment is Wt into h. If I consider section modulus, because z is the section modulus and t and b are the two dimensions, then obviously z is equal to b t square by 6. It is a rectangular base. एक tooth का base देखेंगे तो वो rectangular है. There is a width b and thickness t. So if there is a rectangular cross section, then z is bt square by 6. So we have here m, which is Wt by h, and z as bt square by 6. If I put that two terms in the bending stress equation, then that gives us Levy's equation. Simple. So sigma B is equal to WT by H. WT H B divided by BT square by 6. So just rearrange that. You can see. If I rearrange that, then here this is the equation. If I take tangential force equals to, because tangential force gives us torque. So here sigma B into T square by 6H. In this, if I put all the parameters in the known term, because here there is a H, there is a T, there is a B. So in that, T is the thickness and H is the height. This thickness and H, these parameters are generally related with our distance which is available, and the distance we can relate with the distance between two teeth, and distance between two teeth can relate with the circular pitch. So let us take thickness of that particular teeth as some constant x times Pc, and height some constant k times Pc. Okay, so if I put that two terms T and H in terms of Pc, then we can have one simple relationship. That relationship is the modification of our existing equation. I will put T equal to x into Pc and H is equal to k into Pc. So there is a Pc means circular pitch. Circular pitch is generally known, or we can relate that with our circular pitch can be related with our parameter, known parameter. So you can see here, if I again rearrange that, then there is equation sigma B Pc into Y. So this relationship is called Levy's relationship. You remember this formula? This is very important. There may be chances that this formula is asked for MCQs. In this formula, this is the Levy's equation. In this formula, you can see there is a Y. What is Y? Y is the form factor. Y is the constant. And what is form factor? So it is x square by 6k. So there may be chances that one more question can be asked on this. What is form factor and how it can relate? So this is the form factor. And for different type of gear system, the form factors are different. So these are the three possible systems, the standard system. There may be chances that depend upon the profile. The gear profile are of two types, involute and cycloidal. If the involute profile is used, it is having some advantages and disadvantages. If I use cycloidal profile, then it has some advantages and disadvantages. So here, this is the Levy's equation, and this Levy's equation is asked in our exam. The Levy's equation is asked in our exam. Again, the form factor for 14.5 composite or full depth, the form factor for 20-degree full depth and 20-degree stub, these three equations are also important. So this is very, very simple Levy's equation which is used for the design of gear teeth. There is one more equation which is called Barth equation. This Barth equation is one more equation, but as here we are having only MCQ type based question paper. So this Barth equation, you just remember it is used for dynamic loading condition. There is no need to go for detail about that. If we have some problems and numericals, then only we need this. There is one more equation which is called as a Buckingham's equation, which is related with wear load. So you remember this equation, you write this equation somewhere and remember this, because this equation can be asked as a Buckingham's equation. We must know this equation. So Buckingham's equation, this is the equation which is useful when our gear is under wear condition. When there is a possibility of surface fatigue, then this equation is useful. And here we can find one more load which can withstand by the gear when it is under wear condition. So as far as our limitation of syllabus and limitation of our type of exam system, there is no need to go in detail. We must remember this equation. This is the Buckingham's equation. There is no any derivation which is asked in our MCQs. It is not possible. That's why we are not go in detail about this. So this is introduction of gear. Only introduction is there. And with this, our gear introduction is over.